HHN Trogdor here signing in. This is speculation video number 4 and probably one of my last videos before we start getting into Halloween Horror Nights reveals of the mazes and the houses officially. Mike still has not posted anything really, except for he has posted one new code name. So I'm not assuming that there's going to be a lot more code names unless he starts releasing them very soon, or I guess he releases one right before they reveal every maze. Because there's only been 2 that he has announced, and the new one is Charlie. So in this video, pretty much what we're going to talk about is Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood has announced the options for the vote for your scare zone. And they've given the options to us, so we'll talk about that for a few seconds. Talk about Charlie from Halloween Horror Nights Orlando, the code name. And then I want to talk about Dr. Jimmy's 10 through 13 A and B's code names and my thoughts on them. So first things first, I'll talk about Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood. You guys have been given an option for French Street for voting for the new what scare zone is going to go in there. The options was Corpse, Masquerade, and the Ghouls. Now each of them is based off of something kind of with French history. Ghouls is kind of like, they look like they're like 19th century like grave robber guys. Masquerade looks like pre-revolutionary aristocracy, like cannibals. And like a masquerade ball or whatever. And then Corpse is, I believe, World War I, like undead soldiers. So, I mean, they all look pretty cool and pretty neat. But to me, I really like Corpse, to be honest. I think it looks cool, but I think it's going to end up, especially because I voted today, Masquerade's got like 65% of the votes or something else or higher. So odds are that's probably what's going to end up going there. But it's still, I thought all the ideas were cool. But specifically Corpse and Masquerade were my 2 favorites. But I really like Corpse. I thought it was cool and different. So let's talk about Dr. Jimmy's code names or his performances. Number 10 is the song I Get a Kick Out of You. Now, UKHHN posted a video because me and him had talked about it. And I've talked about some of my thoughts of having Hannibal Lecter at the event. I get a kick out of you. They talk about not getting a kick out of champagne, cocaine, blah, 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 the whole 9. And that, to me, only screams either 2 things of either a Hannibal house or, to me, a vampire house, which also UKHN went a lot in depth with Fright Night and the connections between Frank Sinatra, who's synonymous with singing in Las Vegas, and also that Fright Night takes place in one of the characters is from Vegas. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. I can't remember if it takes place in Vegas or one of the characters is from town of Vegas. But that wouldn't necessarily mean that it's about that we're having a Fright Night house, but that we were having a vampire house, and that was the connection. So there's that. I'm not really sure anymore. I mean, I think there's the rumored so many different kinds of houses that we're going to have in scare zones. And it's just going to be a matter of opinion when they're going to get revealed and what each is going to be. Number 11 was Pure Imagination. This is from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the old 1970s movie. And this song in particular, to me, when I hear Pure Imagination, I'm thinking something original. It's something that you have to have in your head that you're imagining yourself. So I think this is going to be one of the code names, or for either one of the scare zones, or for one of our houses. Now, a couple things people thought of is that there's been rumor of the Evil Genie house, and that people are connecting that to this. I don't necessarily think that that's what this is. Actually, I highly doubt that this is what this is. But some people, of course, actually started thinking that it might be a connection to a new Scary Tales house. And again, I really don't think that that's what it's going to be. but what it could be is the connection to maybe possibly the voodoo house. You know, like I said, right now, I mean, I'm not even gonna like speculate a whole lot, but I'm just gonna give options of what it could or couldn't be. I mean, at this point, it's getting really hard to tell what is going to be and what's not going to be, and how everyone, now that we're getting, it feels like we had a set like thing of what we all thought was going to be coming to the event, and then now as the code names have all been released and certain things are getting revealed more and more, it's all getting shook up. So I don't really know what to think. This, I definitely think it's something original, but I'm not quite sure exactly what it is. So the next thing I want to talk about is number 12, and that is the Guys and Dolls song, Guys and Dolls. Now, to this song, when I heard it instantly, I instantly thought of Jack the Clown. Because it talks about, you know, what you see in the Daily News, what you see in the Roxy. Someone who's looking to aim for the stars or be in the stars, or being in the center of attention. To me, that screams Jack the Clown. I think that if Jack is coming back this year, they're going to give him a scare zone. I don't think they're going to give him a maze. I think they would give him a scare zone. I think that this is the link to a Jack the Clown scare zone. Or on the latter half, it could be a link to an alien house. Again, there's other things that we've connected alien to. But this, to me, the second I heard it, I instantly thought Jack the Clown, that this is what this is connected to. Somebody that wants to be the center of attention, someone that wants to be the ringmaster. This, to me, screams Jack the Clown. Now, whether it is or isn't will be determined fairly soon, but this is just kind of my thought process on it at the moment. Now, 13A and 13B are an interesting thing, because a lot of people are assuming that it has something to do together, and I tend to agree. 13A and 13B, one of the song is, I think, Gruel or something. The 13A, it's from, what is it? I think it's Fiddler on the Roof or something like that. Anyway, in the song, it talks about how rich men are full of it, and they have more of it, and that we want more, more, more. To me, this seems like this is the link to the scare zone and the maze for the Purge. And the reason I say that is because the second song, Sunrise, Sunset, to me, the Purge begins when it's sundown, and it ends when the sun rises. To me, this is my assumption that this is the Purge scare zone and our Purge house, or our I guess our link or our comment to it, because typically we have like 5 or 6 scare zones, and with only 13, and now Dr. Jimmy saying that he's done with all his cryptic performances, except for a joke one he just put up that for something we all know, which is that Rocky Horror Picture Show is returning, but that this would give us 6, be able to give us 6 scare zones and then our 8 houses, which would work out perfectly for everything. So to me, that's what I believe that number 13, A and B are. That is a direct connection to the Purge. The fact that the poor or whoever are wanting to kill certain people for revenge connects to wanting more, and greed, and, you know, going after the rich or going after the poor, whatever it is. People have more of something than you do, or a desire. And then the sunrise, sunset, I think directly connects to the Purge of the beginning at like 7 o'clock or something like that, and then ending the next morning. So that's my speculation on that. Now, I want to talk about the last thing is I want to talk about Charlie. Everyone has been talking about that Charlie is now, I guess, it's an original. It's not going to be an IP. That's something that Mike has clearly stated. And I think it's getting... there's been other people like my friend Psychomassacre Films and UK HHN that have been posting a lot about what they thought about it. I would say go check out and see what they're saying about it. I don't really have a lot of original thoughts on it, besides the fact that I think it has a direct connection with Dr. Jimmy's video for Pure Imagination. I think that those two are definitely shared one-on-one. That as far as when that one gets revealed, it's going to be Dr. Jimmy will reveal that Pure Imagination go through for that one because Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I think it's gonna be some kind of fantasy house or some sort. I can't even really put down or nail my finger on. Vic, Dr. M. Brown 1 had a really interesting thought that he thought it could be like a twisted version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory where the guests go in and they're turned into delicacies covered in chocolate or something like that. I mean, a lot of people, and I've thought myself that they could bring back Scary Tales again for one more go and doing a sequel house to that. But again, I'm not entirely sure. Again, there's all of the Cryptic performances and Cryptic comps, some of them, we've linked Halloween to 5 of them, or we've linked such and such, whatever, and none of it's gonna be certain or set in stone until things start getting truly revealed. So again, what's your speculation on what Charlie could be? I definitely do think that Charlie and the Pure Imagination Cryptic performance are one and the same. So post in the comments below what you think it possibly could be. And again, hopefully very soon, I think within the next week or so, John Murdy posted that he's going to start revealing his first maze, which means to me that at Horror Nights Orlando, that they will probably, since it seems that they've done it in the past, except last year when we in Orlando revealed a house before Hollywood, but the next 2 houses were the shared properties. The shared properties normally are always the ones that are first out of the gate. So, in my opinion, we will be seeing the shared property houses very soon. So I think the speculation on what those are have been is I think it was Halloween was one of the ones that everyone's been thinking that it was going to be the shared property, The Purge, or American Horror Story. I think those are like the 2 or 3 ones that everyone's talking about would be shared properties. To me, I could see it being The Purge and American Horror Story. But again, the overall presence of The Walking Dead still being at Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood, whether it's going to come back as a maze or it's going to come just in the form of the Terror Tram, I think everyone's pretty much for sure that it's going to come back. So I don't know if FX and AMC are going to be able to want to work with each other with those 2 shows being kind of the dominant horror icons or IPs on television. So again, post what you think in the comments below, what you think this all could mean or what it could be. Again, I'm HHN Trogdor, and this is me signing out. And hopefully we'll be getting some reveals soon. So check you later, guys. Bye.